We took a great trade this past Friday in our community for a 7-to-1 risk to reward on Nasdaq, netting us over 80 points. And in this video, I'm going to be covering why I entered, where my target was, and I'm also going to be covering how we used Bookmap as well. So this was an NFP day, which is a non-farm payroll day, and what this does is it brings a lot of volatility to the market. So the first thing we have at 8:30 is this large wick higher and then a strong impulse move lower. Right up till this point, this is the 9:30 market open Eastern. So this is where we're at, and this is where I'm telling the community that I'm going to be looking to enter some long positions. Now, I was looking for a long inside demand because I already noticed we started making our way back up. Once we created this imbalance, we already started creating a bit of a draw on liquidity, right? The market wants to come back to this liquidity, fill all of those unfilled orders. So we broke it down to the 1 minute time frame, and I saw a pretty solid 1 minute fair value gap inside of this demand zone. Now, this demand zone was broken just recently, but because it was broken due to some type of news catalyst, I still see it as an area of interest for that day. So we have our 1 minute fair value gap. We're going to mark that out. And then we're just going to have the replay system run through, and we're going to see how the market reacts to this zone. So this is the market open. Right now it is about 9:35. We're going to let it play out, and I'll show you exactly. So my entry was the double bottom right down here. Now I put my limit order at the top of the fair value gap, and I put my stop order just a little underneath this previous swing low and right below, or I should say within, that 1 minute fair value gap as well, because I'm looking for buyers to hold up in this area, and I was looking for the market to draw on the liquidity that was created once we had that move from the NFP. So we had our entry, we had our target, we're going to let it play out, and we're going to see that at some point the trade looks really good. It starts moving in our favor. This was a great entry so far. It's already about a 5-to-1, 4-to-1 risk to reward. It's looking good. However, the market has a sharp pullback. A lot of people got worried. A lot of people in the community were saying, oh, well, we should get out of this trade, take our profits, we should cut it. However, we haven't hit our take profit and we haven't hit our stop loss. And if we haven't hit either of those, everything in between is just noise. So we stayed patient, and eventually the market rewarded us for staying patient, and it hit our target. Now in this next video, in this next portion I should say, I'm going to go over how we could have used Bookmap as well to see the type of volume and the move that we had down here that could have suggested that the 1 minute fair value gap was going to hold. Alright, so now we have Bookmap on our left hand side of the Nasdaq, and we have it set up. This is the 933 candle, this is the 932, so it will be 933 in the next candle that plays. We're going to get a feel and an idea of how Bookmap plays out once we're holding a pretty strong area, right? So again, this was our entry. So what would Bookmap tell or show us in this area? So this is what we got on trading view, right? This is what we got on the candlestick. So we're going to play this out. This was 934, 935. We got a strong bounce. So we'll play this and fast forward, and we'll see that we try to break around this ninth, right? We get a strong push lower, and we get a bunch of absorption right there, right? So instantly, the first thing I notice with Bookmap is these absorption, right? So this is the absorption indicator on Bookmap. This is right over here. You could automate it, right? So I have it on automatic mode, so it will adjust to whatever the market conditions and volume is, so I don't have to keep changing it every day depending on how it's moving. So I see a lot of sell orders, but we failed to hold and we pushed back higher because of the absorption, right? So people who were short here, the market just reversed on them. So we're going to play this out again, because again, remember, at some point we end up getting a bit of a double bottom, and that's where our entry was, right? So this was our entry right here. We have our entry. We're going to see another push lower, and I want to see on Bookmap what's holding us. Do we get some more absorption down here that again suggests that buyers are holding this level for us? So here is this move lower is 939. Right now the time is 938, so we should be seeing this push lower for the next candle right here on Bookmap. So we see strong selling pressure. but the sellers are keep failing to bring us lower. You see that buyers stepped right in, sellers came in, buyers stepped in. So because of that, I see again more absorption coming in. This is telling me that, okay, you know what? Let me take a stab at longs. Let me put my stop loss at the bottom of the fair value gap. And let's see if this liquidity, if these buyers do want to step in and push us higher, because now we have a lot of sellers that were trying to step in and failed. And this is exactly the reaction we get and exactly the reaction we're looking for.